Is it right that before our eyes the poor suffer while the rich get richer? The parable of Dives and Lazarus shows us that the poor are right at our own gate. It calls us to see their suffering and respond. But real change demands courage, generosity, and sacrifice. Maybe the reason the gospel about Dives and Lazarus has become so famous is that its extraordinary attention to detail. The regal colours of Dives' clothes, his exquisite tableware and fine dining, it all conjures up a vivid picture. At the same time, Lazarus' world is equally well described. Begging at the gate, Lazarus' only companions are the dogs and his sores. Even giving names to both these characters adds to the power of the parable. These people are not just a rich man and a beggar, they have names. Dives and Lazarus, well known to everyone in the village. All these years later, they're well known to us too. Not the actual characters, of course, upon which the story could be based, but all the Lazaruses and Dives in our own villages. It's an important task for us to decide which one of these characters we think we are. Last year, the United Nations published a paper which creatively described the world as a village of 100 people. Staying consistent with the international statistics that the United Nations had amassed about our world, our village would look like this. There would be 59 Asians, 18 Africans, 9 Europeans, 8 South Americans, 5 North Americans, and 1 from Oceania. There'd be 50 men and 50 women, of whom only 30 are fair-skinned and 70 are dark-skinned. 91 in our village would be heterosexual and 9 would be gay. 86 would be literate, 14 are not. Only 7 would have a tertiary degree. The richest single person in our village would own half of the wealth of the village, while the poorest 50 people together would own less than 1%. Most wouldn't have access to drinking safe water. 44 wouldn't have adequate sanitation. 22 wouldn't have access to electricity. 37 would have no access to the internet or a mobile phone. This village analysis sorts out very quickly who Lazarus and Dives are in our world. As hard as life is for some of us, and as much as we struggle financially, we are comparatively dressed in purple robes and feasting off fine linen. The UN report goes on to say that 680 million people live on $2.50 a day or less. And while we might be personally very generous in assisting the poor in a variety of ways, last year Australia only gave in aid $185 per person to developing countries. Luxembourg gave $827, Canada $151, the UK $134, and the USA gave $67 per person. The point of Jesus' story in today's gospel is not to remind us that there are poor people at our gate. It's to implore us to listen and learn. Some Catholics want to vigorously uphold dogma and liturgical laws, but don't seem to care one iota for the social teaching of the Church, which instructs us that our love of God is truly found in deeds, not words. Given the way we keep repeating the sins of the past and we allow the rich to get richer while the poor die before us, it seems we Christians who have had the benefit of the law and the prophets and even Christ who came back from the dead, we still won't change the structures that enshrine global injustice. Why? There's no way around it. Such a change would involve real sacrifice on our part, and we're not prepared to pay the price. Jesus, however, reminds us in today's gospel and in our lives that we can't have selective deafness towards Lazarus' cry and our lack of action. Our comfort can't come at the cry of the poor.